Welcome to Monkey Talk, brought to you by
the Four Monkeys Wrestling Podcast.
All right. Looks like all the audio's let's see. Looks like I'm talking to myself because I didn't want to transition. There we go. Now we're live, and now we're randomly sitting in a room by ourselves talking about SCI.
Nice.
Glad you can't see too much shit behind me.
You're in a hotel room.
Yeah, I know.
Val on location.
But not
I'm
on location.
But not
I'm
that
at a
location.
location.
Yeah, she's at a location.
She is at a location.
Undisclosed location.
Secrets.
Secret location.
Yeah.
Secret location.
Secret location. So I guess everybody's probably still watching AEW right now, right?
Yeah, it's on.
Probably. But that's okay.
Are you going to tweet out something, Chuck, to let people know and get them in
Yep.
there?
I'm
Bumper
working on
Shot's
it now.
here. Bumper Shot knows how it goes. What's going on,
yeah.
Bumper? Parts Unknown. That's right. Now coming to the ring from Parts Unknown, Val Pancakes.
From Griddles Unknown.
All right, so here we are. It's officially August. Chuck, what's going on with your coloring there? What's going on with the lighting, dude?
It's my normal everyday lighting.
No, you're looking awfully red and jolly. Like there's a lot of red going on right now.
I mean, I do have a red shirt on.
Val, do you see it? Does it look red to you?
I mean,
I
feel like
I'm very close right now because I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm not dancing.
That was the dance move.
How's this? Is this better? Am I back here? Is that better?
Are we gonna see?
Still? Hold on. I can change my lighting effect if I can move my light here.
I mean, it's a very warm light, and I think it is picking up all of the red in your shirt, plus the red like in your beard.
See, there we go.
How's that?
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a cooler tone light.
Okay, we got the normal. We don't have the cooler tone on. We have the normal tone on. Normal tone. We had the warm tone. Apparently today, August 4th, whatever the hell the date is today, it was a little bit too warm. 3rd, 4th? No, it's the 4th.
It's the 4th.
It is the 4th.
My life. Thank you, though.
The 4th. It's officially the 4th.
Let's go forth and talk about SCI then.
Heck yeah. Our guest is all ready to come on in the 10 o'clock hour. In case anybody didn't know, we got a double shot. It's Double Shot Wednesday because we're doing an hour of SCI talk where we might have some people hop in. We don't really know. We're not really sure. But if you're a wrestling fan and you follow us, you know that we have been hyping the SCI tournament, which is finally here. It feels like it has been forever that we've been had this on our radar, that we've been talking about it, that we've been prepping for it, that we've been announcing matches for, that we've been interviewing people that are going to be there, and finally we're here. And if you don't know what SCI is, you're living under a rock, or you're watching the major promotions, which is perfectly fine. You're watching wrestling. You're supporting somebody. So it's all good.
But if you're watching the major promotion tonight, you're seeing one of the SCI participants.
Holy cow. Yeah. Exactly. Daniel Garcia. It does. Daniel Garcia, who he and 2.0, I don't know if you guys saw it, put on a amazing promo earlier today. That was fantastic. I loved it. If you didn't see it, go find it on the tweeter somewhere.
The
It's
tweeter.
somewhere on there. Yeah, I'm old, so Twitter is the tweeter, and Twitch is the old Twitcheroo. All those things, you know.
The old Twitcheroo.
Sometimes I get the old Twitcheroo, but not often.
All right. So, where are we going to start? We want to start with futures, or do we want to start with SCI since we're going to talk about futures later? So
Yeah,
they had.
I mean, we can talk
Let's
about
end with
SCI. I mean,
futures.
futures first.
Okay.
That way we can start there. We'll merge into the actual tournament, and then when we get our guest on in hour 2, we'll go back to futures.
We're going to go back to the futures.
Yes, we're gonna go back to the future.
Excellent movie. An excellent Netflix episode of movies that made us about the making of Back to the Future.
Really?
Marty McFly, not originally cast Michael J. Fox.
I did know that.
Who did they?
Ever see the movie The Mask?
Yeah.
Like Jim Carrey?
No.
Oh, the other one with the redheaded kid, right? Wow.
Is his name Eric something or other?
Eric
Yep.
Stoltz.
Actually, footage and filmed like the whole movie, like almost, like with him in it. So
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy. Anyway, we're not Back to the Future yet. We're just at futures right now.
Exactly.
So let's talk about our futures participants, and I guess we can either let's just start with the first trio. Match 1 in no particular order. We're gonna go with Her Story, Billy Starks, participant number 1 in futures. Participant number 2 is Ron Bass Jr., Big Hoss, Ron Bass Jr. And
love that guy.
one of the Lost Boys, Chase Holiday, is also in futures. So that is the first trio of wrestlers for futures. And Val, I'm going to put you on the spot with these 3 because this is a tough one to pick, I think.
It is. I'm very torn.
What's your feelings towards each one of these wrestlers?
So first off, I have to say, obviously I love Billy. She is the only female, which immediately is like pew 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 for me, like to the moon, because I support my female talent. Also, we have similarly shaded blue hair, which again, bonus point. Plus, she's super talented, especially knowing how young she is. She really does such a great job. But I feel like to that, not the opposite end of that, but like Ron Bass Jr. He is such the big man in this match, especially compared to like Billy. So it's really hard for me to pick. And don't get me wrong either. I love Chase Holiday as well. I think that he's kind of the sleeper in this match because you have Ron Bass Jr., who's like the big hoss guy, and you have Billy, who's been like pushing for this. And I think Chase Holiday kind of gets lost in the mix. I feel like, I mean, and this is across the futures tournament altogether. There's nobody in that tournament that I wouldn't say that I'm like, maybe not that guy, because everybody in that tournament deserves to be there and would be a worthy winner of futures. Yeah. But I think I'm going to go with Ron Bass Jr. on this one. I think the Hoss will take it.
Captain, what do you think?
Man, it's a tough pick because, Billy is the only female entrant in the tournament this year. She is the first ever female entrant in the futures. So she's got a lot to show. She's got a lot to put out. She's been killing it all around the country. I feel like every weekend she's somewhere else. It's like, it's where in the world is Billy Starks is like literally like what it is. because she's everywhere. Ron Bass Jr. I mean, you can't hate the guy because he's so lovable. And if you're on the Twitter and you see him in all the spaces, you know, he's got knowledge. He's got the wrestling knowledge. He knows what's going on. He's a funny guy. And then you got Chase Holiday, who is just ready to rip it up. And as much as I love both Billy and Ron Bass, I gotta put my money in that first matchup on Chase. I think he's really here to make an impact and not just an impression. He doesn't want to be just, oh yeah, that was the dude that was in that tournament. He wants to go all the way. So that matchup, Chase, all the way.
Bumper Shot, I think, agrees with you because saying that Chase is going to take the whole thing. Sorry,
Oof.
everyone else. So both, you know, I think I agree with what Val's said. Anybody is going to be like, yeah, they could do it. But I'm going to, funnily enough, the way we're picking, I'm going to pick the other person that you guys didn't pick.
There you go.
It's her story. I mean, it's Billy's. Billy is not in it to just be in it. Billy is in it to win it. And her not coming out of the first round we would riot. Billy wins or we riot. Like, that's what I feel like the crowd's going to be into. So everything you guys said is valid. Everything you guys said is true. One of them has to win, and I'll be happy for any one of those three people. But I'm going to pick Billy. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. So this is an interesting one. This could be a show stealer. It really could be. The Whisper, Eli Knight, and Landon Hale. I'm not even going to give them extra intros. I'm just going to point out those three people in a ring at the same time.
Those three people not in the ring at the same time.
Truth.
Yeah.
Our truth.
That who knows where this match is going to take us. Like, this can be insane. I know last year there were some interesting things going on in futures. People flying into walls and people being thrown like darts. This is that match where it's just going to be like batten down the hatches. Little Captain Chuckles thing. Like, there's going to be some crazy stuff going on in this match. I'm going to pick first. I'm going to pick our guest tonight, Landon Hale, because I think Landon is on his way up. He is the sleeper in this entire tournament because he's the little known person compared to everybody else. But the boy can work in the ring, and I think Eli and the Whisper might take too many risks, and Landon's gonna sneak in there and take that win. Chuckles, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a tough one. You got three guys who all have a similar build. You don't have like the first match where we had, you had Ron Bass, who's the hoss. You have Chase, who's a big dude also. Then you have Billy, who is, smaller than both of them. Like, they're on three different levels of, the heavyweights. You got a heavyweight, a super heavyweight, like a heavyweight, and then you got the flyweight with Billy. With this one, they're a lot alike. I feel their styles are very similar. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I know when I believe it was us during one of the interviews, and I forget who it was with, but we announced that Eli Knight was going to be at one of the action shows. And I don't know if it was the earlier that day or after, but I started watching some of his stuff, and I was really impressed with him. And you've seen him come back to action, and if you've watched any of his other stuff, he's got quite the arsenal behind him. The Whisper, I mean, from the Northeast area. So he's coming into kind of an area that's unknown maybe to him. I haven't really checked out too much of the background, but again, I cannot disrespect our guest tonight. And it's not just because he's our guest tonight. It's literally because I think that's who's going to win this threesome is Landon. He just recently lost a championship. He just recently gained a championship down south. We'll talk about that in hour 2. So everybody stick with us, stay with us, stick around, stay for the second shot. Stay for the second shot. It's going to be fun.
Where's my first shot?
We're in the first shot. We're doing the first shot.
I don't have a shot. Do I need to go get
Neither
a shot?
do I. No. Maybe next time. But yeah, I got to go with Landon. He is a quick high flyer. He's technical. He's got that old school wrestling background, and I think he's going to be the one that comes out of that second threesome there. So Landon is my pick.
I 3 for 3, y'all. Landon for me.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that, don't get me wrong, I love the Whisper. I haven't seen as much of Eli, but from what I've seen, very impressed. Big fan of the Whisper. I just think that you made a very solid point where these aren't people he's used to wrestling. And now you could say the same thing for Landon, but I feel like it's going to be more of like a hometown crowd type feel for Landon. And I feel like that'll maybe give him like a little extra oomph. And I think that he'll be able to take that win. But you're right. I think that this will be like crazy bananas match where people are going to probably pull off some like really cool flippy stuff that you probably haven't ever seen before. And
Eli Knight, definitely.
Very much looking forward to all of that.
It very well could be the best match of the years.
There will be top rope abundance used in this match, but like our guest 2 weeks ago said, you don't want to put yourself in those high risk areas. Robert Martyr, you don't want to put yourself. You don't want to put yourself in that spot.
Speaking of Robert Martyr, here we are. We're in the final of the trios, the third match, and we're going to talk about Robert Martyr, who is a former guest. We're going to talk about Hoodfoot, who is a former guest of the Bald Monkeys podcast, hung out with us on the stack. And we're going to talk about a newcomer who has been a late entry due to Hardway Heater, unfortunately having to step away from Futures. And Hardway, feel better. Get better, man. We're all pulling for you. We're all here for the return. Super excited to see you again.
Rest up,
but
my friend.
One person's recovery turns into another person's opportunity. And Captain Chuckles, I think, is pretty excited about this one.
Dude, I love Merrick Donovan. Sir Merrick Donovan.
Don't forget it.
Do not, ye nobles, get the name right. Sir Merrick, I'm really excited for him. When I heard that there was something going on with Heater, I was like, man, I was like, he was one of the guys that I was really, not even just to see him wrestle, but to be able to say hi and interact with him and talk to him. Because from not just what from you said, Chris, but from what, I mean, tons of people have said on Twitter, like, he's literally one of the nicest guys that you could ever meet. And I like to meet those people. I'm a nice guy as well, even though I may come off as ornery, medulla oblongata. But but I'm really happy that Merrick is getting a chance here. Coming in late, I mean, Robert Martyr likes to game plan. He likes to look at who he's up against. he's trying to look at what Hardway Heater has, and now he gets thrown in a guy who's completely different.
That's a very different change. Yeah.
Completely
Yeah.
different. So now if you're looking at it as at a game plan type of thing, Martyr's only got like 3 days to game plan for this. So that's one. Now that's one thing. And Merrick again brings a different style than what Hardway Heater would have brought. So it changes everything in there. Now, Martyr, the dude is so technical, so good. He's got the right mindset. He just knows what he has to do in order to get the job done. And will do anything that he needs to do in order to get there when it comes to being in the ring and doing the right things. And then you have Hoodfoot Mo Atlas, who is an absolute, like, devastating human being in the ring. And it's a huge contrast between the other two. And man, it's
just tearing you apart. I can see it.
It is. It's really hard. It's really hard because, you had very similar people in the second round, threesome that we talked about. You had different styles in the first one. Now you have different styles in this one. It's Hoodfoot's last chance in futures. So, if anybody doesn't know, I believe you have to be in the realm of professional wrestling for less than 5 years or less, I believe is what the criteria is. I believe so. And I think
That sounds right.
There's rules?
Yes, there are rules.
I feel like they gave him 6 years this year because of last year was.
Okay. So either way, this is the last Action Futures, that he could be in. So I think he's got something to show as his last hurrah here. As much as I like Merrick and as much as I like Robert, I think the big guy in this last set of 3 is gonna take that W. That's me.
I'm picking Robert Martyr.
A good choice. It's a good choice.
That's all I got.
It's a good choice.
He's passionate. I believe him when he tells me he has to win. I believe him when he tells me he's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
So, I no offense to Hoodfoot, no offense to Merrick, but Robert's gonna find a way, and Robert's gonna win.
Yeah, I am on train Robert Martyr with this one, just because
on an island.
And don't get me wrong, I think Hoodfoot is gonna go in there, and I think he has everything in him to win as well. And Merrick too. I think that Merrick probably maybe at a little bit of a disadvantage just because everyone else has known about this for months. He's known about this for all of about 24 hours. So
mm-hmm.
I think that, he hasn't been able to, maybe plan like the other ones have, or, watch tape or whatever you want to do. But I think that I'm very confident in saying, just from what I know of Robert Martyr, that kid tape studies, and he has tape studied Hoodfoot. I would bet money on it. And do I think that he's not tape studying Merrick right now? I'm sure between, getting ready to go and do whatever else he does, I would definitely assume that he's probably studying that as well. So I'm going to say Robert Martyr on it. You made a face. Is there somebody?
Whose face?
You two made faces.
No.
This is how I look.
Chris literally picked the same person.
I was like,
I picked Martyr.
Is there something you don't know?
No face. No
I'm-
face.
I agree with everything you just said. And Martyr's going to do the tape study, and Martyr's going to figure it out. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
you give Martyr more than 5 minutes to do tape study, he'll have all the tape study done he needs.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the 9. That's who we're looking at for futures. Now the big question: who's winning the whole dang thing? Val, I'm going to come back to you, put you on the spot. I will not make you commit to the picks you've made, so you can pick anybody because
Oh,
who cares?
switching it up.
So who
I
is going to win the whole thing?
I think it's going to be Robert Martyr. Yes, I do. I think that he has the drive, determination, and technical ability to win this.
Captain?
Let's see. Who are my 3? Chase, Landon, and Hoodfoot.
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be tonight's guest? Is it going to be a previous guest?
I feel
The other previous?
as if it's going to go to Chase Holiday.
Ooh.
I feel that people are sleeping on him a little bit. And he's going to come out on top. So, yeah, my choice, Chase Holiday.
Well, Vic Sage. Vic, how's it going? Vic is saying Hoodfoot
Hi, Vic.
fixed it all. So that's Vic's choice of Hoodfoot, which again, I think is a valid choice. I don't know that any choice is a bad choice in this field.
You can't go wrong.
But what you guys forgot, what you guys failed to point out, was you can only be the first. You can only do it the first time once. And when it's her story, and when Billy Starks is the first female entered into Futures, she is going to be the first female to win Futures. It is her story. It is her time. And yeah, I think in that final that I have put together of Landon, Billy, and Martyr, I think Billy can pull it off and win the whole thing. All right.
3 good choices.
Yeah, there's no bad choices in any of these.
There's no
No.
I'll be real honest about it.
There's no
No.
bad choice.
And that's
None
just
at all.
Action and Matt and
I
really
mean,
all of SCI. Just stellar booking.
bravo. Like I'm looking down at the posters and it's just incredible. It's just incredible. It's a who's who of who I've loved to watch wrestle over the last year.
Yep.
So Vic, believe me, I want Billy to win, but I think Hoodfoot will win it all. I mean, I want everybody to win. If all 9 of them can win, that'd be great. But that's just not the way it goes.
No.
Doesn't
Someone's
work
got to
like
lose.
that.
Nope. And 2 o'clock on Saturday, Eastern time. Is Futures on IWTV as well? Or hold on, let me check my
SCI is live.
IWTV app.
I
Don't
feel
know.
like it is.
Let me see what we got on the
I
schedule.
feel like it is.
Futures is live.
We're live.
Tuesday,
I've been big
Saturday
into
the
finger
7th,
guns lately.
2 p.m. So make sure you get on IWTV. Make sure you use code ACTION so that they get a little bump. Use code, I'm sure SCI's got something. I'm sure TWE's got something. I'm sure whatever independent wrestling promotion that you like to watch has some sort of code that you can put in so that they get a little bit extra or whatever they get. I don't know. We're not privy to any of that stuff. So anyway,
it's good for them. It's good for independent wrestling. It's good for your favorite promotion. So
yes.
type in the code. If you don't
Put it
already
in.
have IWTV, which I expect all of you to already have IWTV, all 3
Right? If you don't already have IWTV, what are you even doing?
How do you even know about us then?
How do you know who
How
we
did you
are?
find us?
How did you get here?
How did you find us?
All right, it's 9:30. We need to get to SCI because we only have 30 minutes before the second shot is around the corner. So let's get to the big one. Let's get to night one. Let's get to the big tournament. What we're all here for, the Scenic City Invitational. And the first two participants, both former guests of this podcast network, Alex Kane and the one called Manders Val. Who the heck do you pick in this?
Oof. They both have good tournament history. They both are similarly sized. You know, I'm gonna go with Alex Kane. He's putting in work.
All of this work. I think that's an excellent pick, and I'm going to double down on it. I have a very interesting idea of why Manders will not make it through at least the second round, but I'm going to say he doesn't make it through the first round, and I'm going to pick Alex. There's a bit of history going on with some of these participants, so I think it's going to come to a head.
Well, let's call it 3 up, 3 down. Alex Kane, my man, putting in the work. That's as much as I like Manders.
We love you, Manders. We do.
We do.
Oh yeah,
we do. He did a stellar job in the lightning round when he was on the stack. However, Alex Kane all day.
Vic is picking Manders, so at least Manders gets some love from the chat. So there you go. All right, let's jump right into the second one. Daniel Garcia, who is wrestled tonight on AEW, or the mercenary, the Merc himself, Graham Bell. Chuck, what do you got?
Dude, Garcia has got a whole bunch of stuff going on this weekend. From tonight through, I mean, he's a busy boy. He's a busy boy. I have a feeling that, and I was prepping for the show, so I didn't see anything about AEW, but I'm sure that he and 2.0 took quite the beating tonight from the 3 gentlemen that they were up against. Then he has the tournament Friday and Saturday, and then he's got a very big match on Sunday at IWTV 100, where he faces Wheeler Yuta for the IWTV championship. This is nothing against Daniel Garcia. I feel that his head might be too much into that IWTV championship match. And the mercenary, you can't beat that bazooka. And I'm so happy that I get to see that bazooka in real life, finally. And Graham, you and I, buddy, we still got to talk about getting those mini bazooka replicas done because I want one. But anyway, my vote is going to Graham Bell, not the phone guy, but the mercenary.
That's who Vic's picking. Vic picked Bell because he invented the phone. Val,
he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy.
Val, who do you got?
Well, I mean, I do enjoy Graham Bell. He's very redacted, but I'm gonna have to go with Daniel Garcia on this.
That was good. I agree that the Merc is something else. He's the reason I love independent wrestling. I'm not gonna lie. Him and Manders, that was the match. That was the match that made me fall in love with independent wrestling. That was the point where I was like, I can't believe I'm missing this. Like, I can't believe this is what I haven't been watching. So I love the Merc. I'd like to say my choice is redacted, but I have to make a pick, I guess. So Garcia. It's I a lot of people are calling him the favorite to win the whole thing, so it's hard for me not to pick him in the first round. So I'm going to go with Daniel Garcia. And Chuck is going to go over there and really be concerned about his pick, but we're not going to let him change it. We're just going to move forward. He's struggling there. Look at him struggle.
Watch him struggle. No.
Watch him squirm.
Right.
All right. Great match. A match that we've seen many a time in independent wrestling. Match that we've seen in TWE. Match that we've seen in action. Match that we're going to see in SCI. Numero uno. Ichiban. Jaden Newman versus Killer Be Killed. And I laughed because it might happen. Brett Ice might kill Jaden Newman. But that being said, these two, I mean, they're going to put on a show. Every time they go up against each other, they just have chemistry. It's going to be, this might be the match of SCI, just these two going up. They might just have another banger. I really want to pick Brett, but I feel like this is Jaden's backyard and he's got something to prove. It's like, how could you go down in your backyard, man? Like, this is your spot. This is your home. It's a big weekend for you. Unless he gets beat up pretty bad on Thursday night, which possible. The night
Depending
before.
on who answers that call.
Who answers that call?
Christopher.
I've never been an SCI. It can't be me.
True.
It has to be someone who has been part of.
I gotta point this way. I gotta point opposite way. I forgot.
Yeah, opposite way. I'm picking numero uno. I'm picking Jaden Newman. Val, who do you got?
So I think Brett Ison's terrifying.
He's a sweetheart.
I've never met him. So all I have to go off is by his matches and promos, which are terrifying. And Jaden Newman, I've met him. I've spoken with him. I got to interview him on the Stack. I think him and I have a better rapport. So just out of pure, I think this match is going to be just a banger. But out of pure self-preservation, I'm picking Brett Ison. I don't think that Jaden Newman would beat me up. And I can't say that about Brett Ison.
That is sound logic. Chuck, who you got?
Man, this is like literally every match that has been announced pulls at my heartstrings one way or the other. And it's like, I would literally be fine if either person in any of the matches won. But man, Brett Ison is a motherfucker. And you know, Jaden, he's our boy. He's part of the Ball Monkeys podcast.
Yeah.
He has his own show called the Jaden Show.
If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. The Jaden
Yes.
Show.
Go check it out. Go check it out in the VOD if it's there over on the Twitcheroo that you're watching right now. But man, I gotta pick Jaden Newman, numero uno.
All right. So Chuck and I are getting beat up, and Val's gonna be okay.
And Brett, please don't hurt me. If anything, hurt Christopher. He deserves it more.
What did I do?
Are you guys gonna fight at SCI too? You two?
Who?
I'm not,
Me and
no. I'm not fighting.
Chuck and Chris.
I
thought you two would, and we could stream it.
Christopher and I have already had our final match against each other. I am forever the champion.
I could referee this.
And right now, I'm too old. I'm too old right now. It would not be It would. Okay, listen. I'll come out of retirement to kick your ass, buddy.
The real match at SCI.
The real match.
Chris v.
Matt,
Chuck.
Matt, set it up. We'll sign the papers.
Book it.
I'll F5 Chris in the middle of the ring, and it'll be over.
You couldn't get me up on your shoulders to do it at 5.
Definitely could.
No way.
Yep.
No way.
So moving on to the next match.
Moving on.
Moving on. Vic is going to pick Ison because he thinks he looks like Kane's brother. Let's see.
I can see that. I agree.
Oh, okay. Well, now we'll be in the center of the ring with our friend, former interviewee, AC Mac, the Mac of all trades, taking on the late entrant of Big Beef, which I've seen so many great tweets out there about how AC might want to be a vegetarian at the end of this. AC saying, no, I'm going to go out and get a steak when this is over. Great back and forth between these two. Val, what do you think about this one?
AC Mac. I don't even need to say any more than that.
Wow. Okay.
Chuck, do you agree?
I agree. Nothing against the beef, but AC's got a chip. AC's got a chip on his shoulder normally when he's wrestling, anywhere he's wrestling, but now he's got an even bigger chip on his shoulder after what happened at the 2019 SCI tournament. And if you haven't seen it, and if you haven't seen the tweets from SCI over the past 2 months, go back and watch it on the IWTV. It's in there. Just go to SCI. You'll find it, and go watch all of them. Not just the last one, but all the prior ones before it. But yeah, AC and that one all the way.
I have to agree. I almost feel bad for Big Beef because I think in any other matchup, I think he would have a fighter's chance, and I think he still has a chance, like anybody does. But AC Mac has something to prove. He is out for vengeance, and if he doesn't go head to head with Makabe, I don't think he's gonna be okay with the outcome of anything in this tournament. So at this point, I think it's a runaway train of two members of this tournament, and if it's not Makabe and AC Mac at some point, I think it's going to be somewhere else down the line.
But that's if Mr. Makabe gets passed.
We're not there yet. I didn't segue properly, but we're not there yet. The next match is what we call the veterans match, the match where we're going to see real wrestling in the ring, and I guarantee it's going to be a story worth seeing in a wrestling ring with Jeremy Wyatt, who it'll be my first time actually getting to see him wrestle live, and Cabana Man Dan, who has been on an absolute tear since he's gone to the Castaway persona. Chuck, tough one. Who are you gonna pick?
Man, there are a couple that are very, very hard, and this is definitely one of the top two that are my two hardest to pick. I love Cabana Man Dan, and Dan has been on quite the roll. I mean, not just in action, but in New South. He's going to Texas. He's got the Texas tournament with New Texas Pro in August, the end of August, I think. I don't know. I forget. However, I'm putting my eggs into the basket of Jeremy Wyatt. I think I think a lot of people know the name, know him, but I don't think they're giving him the recognition that he deserves in this tournament. And as much as I love Dan, I feel like Jeremy's going to come out on top in that one.
That's a interesting point. I mean, it really does seem like Jeremy's kind of in the tournament, but we're not seeing a lot about him being in the tournament. And I mean, that's going to make him probably pretty angry and have a lot to prove.
Mm-hmm.
You bring up valid points. I just hard for me to pick against
I
Benamandan
know.
right now.
I know.
He's on a tear. Even winning the championship in New South, taking care of Shugdi in action finally. Um, yeah, gotta go with Kabetamandan. I got Vic on my side, so I feel better about it. Gonna go with Kabetamandan in this one. Val, what do you think? We're split, Val. You gotta.
So, un, unlike you guys, I've seen Jeremy White a couple times because he's from Kansas City. So he's wrestled in Omaha more than once. And his 60-minute Ironman match with Fred Yehai was fantastic. I would 1,000 times recommend you watch that. That match was brilliant. And I think that when Jeremy's doing Pure Rules, or he has the Heritage title he's had for 17 years or something now, I'm not quite sure. I think that is where he succeeds and does well, but this ain't that kind of match now, is it? And to what you said about people kind of glossing over him almost, well, this is Dan's backyard. This is Dan area. If it were St. Louis or Kansas City, it might be a little different, but it isn't. And I'm going to go with Kabetamandan on it.
I am totally gonna go check out that Ironman match. I love Ironman matches, so that is.
I have a really short attention span, and I was very into it the whole time.
Val doesn't even pay attention to our podcast, like our interviews, when
we have
she's
interviews?
in the chat.
I don't pay attention to my interviews when I'm doing this. I'm kidding. That's not true. That's not true. I'm very engaged with my peoples.
So next matchup, we call it the championship matchup because we have your New South champion, Derek Neal, facing the ace god, Eric Royal, action champion. Val, how do you pick this?
Well, I think it's difficult, obviously, kind of a lost for words, but without getting too frilly fancy and too thought involved in it, Derek Neal.
The solid pick. Obviously Derek Neal, a 3-time champion in New South. And Eric Royal has been quite the year tear since he lost that match to Matt Sells. That is the point where Eric Royal turned everything around. And I'm going to go back to my earlier pick where I decided that I wasn't going to pick somebody because I think there's some history between a few people in this tournament. And I'm going to once again say that comes to a head, and your winner of this match would be Eric Royal because of it. So we'll see if I'm right. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to keep it up here. And then when it happens, I'm going to go, I knew it. Chuck, who you got?
As much as I love my man, Derek Neal, who's helping me petition to get Christopher in the ring and beat up pretty bad, I gotta go with the action wrestling champ, the ace god. Yeah. Eric Royal.
Vic agrees. It's gonna be a good match. I'm looking forward to that one. Have they fought each other before?
I think we asked Derek when we interviewed him, and I think he said no.
We've had a lot of these people on our show. As I look through this entire thing, I'm like, wow, we've had most of these people on one of our shows.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Go check that back catalog out. It's on YouTube.
11 out of 16.
Damn good. Speaking of people that have been on our podcast, Adam Priest versus Daniel Makabe. Val, good luck.
So I think that without, again, just in the interest of time, I don't know how much more we have left, but I know we don't have much time left.
About 10
We're good. We're good. We're good.
I'm gonna say he won it the last time. He's looking to be the first 2 times. And with that, I'm going with Danny McCabe.
Chuck, what do you got?
Oh man. Now I see where you're going with some back history. Why you didn't pick Derek Neal, because he doesn't necessarily have beef with Mr. Adam Priest, but Adam Priest has
They'll settle things. They'll settle.
Yeah, he's got something that he's got to settle. Now that match will actually take place at New South's 6-year anniversary show, just announced the other day, I believe. Adam Priest versus Derek Neal. But I gotta go with the technician, the coffee connoisseur, Mr. Daniel Makabe.
I can't wait to go have some coffee with Daniel Makabe. Like, that's like my one goal of the entire weekend is to go get some really good coffee with Daniel Makabe and just be like, just see if Daniel likes it. Is it good? Is it good? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's good. And play a little Dr. Mario and Tetris against him, which I don't know if I've trained enough, but you're going down, Daniel Makabe. Anyway, I am picking Daniel Makabe in this match. The man is last year's or last time they did
the last
Scenic City
SCI year.
SCI year. Thank you, Val. Champion, defending champion. The man is on the front of the poster. He needs to step it up and win this first round match. So I'm picking Daniel Makabe. All right, we saved the biggest for last. How do you put these two guys in a first round matchup against each other and not expect the ring to implode? I don't know. We'll see. We've broken rings before with Logan Creed and that dude, John Davis. Chuck, two big guys. Which big guy comes out on top?
I can't wait to see Logan Creed jump through or over the ropes, hitting John Davis on the outside.
He'll do it.
I also can't wait to see John Davis chop the crap out of Logan. Man, this is a big boys match, and if you don't have your big boy pants on, you're in trouble. Well, I had no coin, so it didn't tell me what to do. But I'm gonna go with, man.
No one's gonna hurt you if you get
No,
it. If you pick, don't pick them.
I
Like,
know,
I
but
feel
it's
like you're
so
worried.
hard.
Maybe. I mean,
it's so hard, man. I'm going with Logan.
I have to agree. I'm also going with Logan. He
no disrespect to John.
No
disrespect.
No disrespect to that
he had
dude.
A great match at Mania weekend against O'Shea Edwards. No disrespect at all.
No disrespect at all. Same sentiment. But I have to go with Logan Creed. He is the measuring stick of the Southeast right now. Belt or no belt, championship or no championship, whatever you want to call it, trophy, medal, cookie, ribbon, whatever you give him, he's still the guy that you have to go through in the Southeast. And I think he comes out of the first round in a heck of a battle with John Davis. Probably not prepared for a second round matchup, but he's going to be the winner coming out of the first round matchup with John Davis. I think Logan Creed. Val, last pick. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with that dude, Jonathan Davis. I saw him at ICW shows and doing Pit Fighter. No way is that man gonna lose. Not a chance.
Val, who wins the whole thing?
Oof. Put me on the spot. I've been saying I honestly believe it's gonna be Derek Neal or Cabana Man Dan. And you can't force me to pick between those two. I'm not gonna do it.
Chuck, pick one. Who's gonna win the whole thing?
I'm
He's frozen.
trying to like remember my picks from earlier.
Don't worry about your picks. Just pick
If
one of
you-
these guys on this
If you think
post.
they're gonna win, you probably already picked them.
Yeah, I know. I'm going with Alex Kane.
Valid pick. But when you're standing in the center of his ring,
He gets retribution.
he gets his retribution, and AC Mack wins the Scenic City Invitational and goes on to take over the Southeast, which he's kind of already taken over most of it. So now it's just a matter of him walking around with the Scenic City Invitational trophy, and now he could carry that around with one of his belts, and he can have that in a belt. He can have all these names of different things. Anders for the whole thing from Vic out of the chat.
Wow.
That
Could happen. Anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Scenic City Invitational. So that was fun.
yeah.
We might be wrong. We might be right. Who cares? We're going to be there. I will be there tomorrow night for the night before TWE. Val will be there. I'm
If
gonna say hi
you
to
see me,
Val.
come say hi.
Come say
I
hi to
actually
Val.
get to meet you. I've never met either of these two gentlemen in person, and I'm so excited to finally get to meet you guys.
It's going to be very cool. We're even bringing a big baby with us. Big baby Jimmy is coming along for the ride.
I've never met him either. I
the
don't think I've ever
lost-
spoken with him.
The Lost Monkey will be
The
here.
Lost Monkey. I love it.
And the captain will join us on Friday for night one of Futures. Beyond that, if you haven't already checked it out, we are going to have so much streaming going on all weekend. I have a little handheld that I'm going to be walking around with. If I'm allowed to stream, I will be streaming. We will be talking about the whole weekend. We'll have hot dog eating contests, karaoke, proms, Dr. Mario contests, Tetris contests.
Is Positively still trying to beat that record?
Maybe there'll be a Positive Lee sighting. Don't know. It'll have to do with sports, and we'll be streaming.
Competitive eating is a sport.
Is a sport.
It is a
Thank
sport.
you, Val.
That's
Thank
true.
you, Val.
I
So
got
what
you.
we're going to do now is we're going to thank you for hanging out. We are going to go send it to the starting soon screen, and we will be back for the very first episode of our new show on the Bald Monkeys Network, Captain's Quarters, with our very own Captain Chuckle. And
That's
we may have like a cool intro that we put together. I didn't do it. Val didn't do it. Somebody else might have did it, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So if you're, go get a drink, go take a bathroom break. We'll be
Yes.
right back. We'll put it on the Be Right Back screen. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Let me go do this because I'm talking and not actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Val, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me. I'll see everybody tomorrow or Friday. Again, if you see me, come say hi. I want to meet everybody.
Go say hi to Val. Don't come say hi to me.
We're
Val's
taking
gonna have, like,
pictures.
Val's gonna
We're
have
doing
150
hugs.
pictures that she's putting up on Twitter.
Oh, be prepared. The picture dump is coming probably Monday or Tuesday. It's coming.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how bad my wait is at the airport, potentially Sunday.
7 o'clock, 10 p.m., 8:30, 7 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 7 p.m. Who knows? Guess what? We'll be right
Eventually?
back.